Hey, it's Missy
and April,
and this is SheelaNaGig. Everybody, you can tell we have guests. I'm so excited. I love that. I don't think we've ever had like a little spontaneous laughter in the beginning. I think I love that. Can we just use that? Can we just like tape that, keep that on all our podcasts? It's like, yeah, as the intro. I love that.
I don't see why.
So each week, of course, you know the drill here at SheelaNaGig. We explore our own SheelaNaGig, typically a woman whose strength and perseverance has inspired us. Somebody who has brought greatness and maybe has been unseen. And sometimes it's somebody that you know and you've heard of, and we're kind of retelling their story. And sometimes it's people
somebody you don't know, but should.
Yes.
And we want to bring that to light.
Yes. But it really gives us an opportunity often, like I said, to retell a lot of stories too, which I think is a little bit the case today with our guests.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes a lot of these great women have been villainized, have been really
misunderstood,
seen through a man's lens. No offense, Jamie, but you know what I mean? So I think today it's an interesting thing that we're exploring. We're exploring an amazing play today that's going to be opening.
The Revolutionists.
The Revolutionists. And we have two guests today, which we're super, super excited about. Today we have Jamie Torcellini, who is our director. He sounds Italian. Are you Italian, Jamie?
Half Italian, half Sicilian.
Ooh, I love that. All right. And Amie Farrell, again, is returning. I don't know if everybody remembers her, but we had her on a while back in the fall, I believe, right?
Yes. When you were directing Ms. Holmes and Ms. Watson.
Yes.
And
yes.
we had such a delightful interview that we were so excited to see that you are actually this time not directing, but you have a lead role in this play that we're going to talk about today, The Revolutionists.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Missy, when is Revolutionists opening?
It is opening on June 10th. It's June 10th to June 28th at the International City Theater at the Long Beach Convention Center and Entertainment Center. So I know you're going to want to get tickets after you hear this interview. We're excited. We're going. But we're going to, just dive right in. I know you're dying to meet our guests, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about the play to kind of kick it off here. So sometimes a revolution needs a woman's touch. Playwright Lauren Gunderson gives France's reign of terror a riotous, sharp-tongued makeover with the Revolutionists. For badass women, I love that, badass women,
Yes.
to be reckoned with, lose their heads both figuratively and literally in this irreverent, girl-powered comedy set during the French Revolution, La Terreur. And this fast-paced and dream-tweaked comedy finds humor even in the darkest of times. This totally sounds up our alley, right?
Yeah.
And speaks to violence, legacy, art and activism, feminism, terrorism, compatriots, chosen sisters,
Yes.
and how we actually go about changing the world. This play is exactly what we need right now. To quote artistic director Karen Desai, it's bold, irreverent, very funny, an exploration of the power of women to shape history. Yes, please. And these characters show us that even in the face of overwhelming adversity, we can still make our voices heard, fight for change, and yes, have a little fun along the way. And again, this sounds right up our alley for the SheelaNaGig podcast. So we are super excited. So again, we are totally delighted to have both actor Amie Farrell and director Jamie Torcellini here. Thank you both for being here. Hello again. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Where are you coming to us from today?
Los Angeles. I live on the west side of Los Angeles.
Excellent. I love that painting in the background. You guys can't see it, but it's really cool.
Thank you. My husband picked it out when we moved in. I love it too. Thank you so much.
That's really cool. And you, Jamie, where are you coming from today?
I live right by Universal Studios.
Very
Out of
nice.
Hollywood.
Yeah. Awesome. So you're both like us in LA. Here we are. We're on the east side. We're in City Terrace. Do you know what that is? Do you know what City Terrace is?
I don't. Where is that?
A lot of people don't know. It's funny. It's It's the hills of East LA. So it's where the 710 meets the 10. And it's a historic neighborhood. And I live at the top of the hill in this 1929 house. So I get to see downtown out the back, and I get to see the mountains out the front, but nobody knows where City Terrace is. It's basically like between Boyle Heights and Monterey Park.
Yeah.
Sounds stunning. Wow.
It's pretty cool. I have to say. I always have to like, I like to let people, I like people to know about it, because I feel like it's kind of like best kept secret. So now it'll be on your radar, right? But you guys are opening soon. Are you excited?
Yeah. They are so ready.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Jamie?
I said they are so ready.
Oh,
Yes. Jamie and I were chatting a little bit just before we're getting started. And Jamie, what are you telling your cast? I loved it. Or is that bad luck?
Is it bad luck to say what I said? Well, no. I mean, I write down all of my notes, and some of my notes are gushing. And I think I said we don't deserve to be this far ahead, but we are, because of all the work that they have done. They've really, really buckled down. We had a couple of days off where the crew had to load in the set, and they came back ready and raring to go. We're really flying through now. It's really super fun, because this show has to have a pace to it, because of Lauren's writing is really fun and quick-witted, and there is a definite pace to it. These ladies kept that very much.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I love that. I love that. You know, why not be ahead of the game, right?
Right. And actually we had a little dress rehearsal yesterday, and so a lot of the people that work for the theater had to be in for pictures and photos and all this other stuff. And it was nice to hear some laughter with them, and that never happens. Because they're all busy working, they're all busy doing stuff. I can still hear the lighting designer, while she's doing her work, laugh at a certain line, and our prop mistress was crying at the end, and she was like, I was laughing and laughing, and then it took me by surprise. So yeah, it was really.
I love that. I love that. We are so excited, and I want to tell everybody a little bit about both of you, although you both have incredible bios, and I have to say I had to trim them a little bit. I hope you won't be offended by what I chose to share and not share, but look them both up, because you will be stunned by how much they have done. I'm going to start here with Jamie Torcellini, and he is an International City Theater favorite, including Death Trap, Life Could Be a Dream, The Andrews Brothers, The Legend of Georgia McBride, and now he's directing a 3-week run, of course, of The Revolutionists. Torcellini is also an actor, appearing on Broadway in Cats as Mr. Mistopheles, Little Johnny Jones, standby to Donny Osmond.
None other than.
Me and My Girl, standby for Jim Dale. Jerome Robbins, Broadway, Man of La Mancha, Barber, Beauty and the Beast, LeFou, and the original company of Billy Elliot. Very impressive.
Yeah.
And for 2 years, Torcellini toured internationally as a backup singer and dancer for Liza Minnelli. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I think we're going to have a lot of questions about that. I'm sorry. Like, that's just freaking amazing. But he also assisted on both of the Stuart Little films, which I saw both of them. Like, I have kids who are 13 and 20. I think my 20-year-old. Yeah. How long ago was that? I'm trying to remember. I don't even know. But I'm going to say that my 20-year-old was really into those.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that would make sense, right?
Yeah.
But he actually assisted on both of those, and they were starring Gina Davis, love her, and Hugh Laurie. So pretty impressive.
And Jamie, your background is so broad and diverse and impressive. Was there anything we left out that you wanted to share? Because titles are jumping off the page for me.
I put a little bit too much in there now, didn't I?
No, not at all.
I hardly ever.
No, not at all.
No,
I hardly ever mention Liza. I just started putting that in again because I think it's so fun, because people don't expect it when they look at me. Because 40, it was 1981 to 1983. So
Wow.
I was
You just send us a
24 years old.
picture. We want to see a picture for sure. And we'll post it on the SheelaNaGig website if you'll let us.
No, I'm going to send that to you. I'm very proud of that hair.
Yeah. Please send it to us. Well, I'm going to tell you something very exciting too about Jamie, and he may not know this, and probably our listeners will maybe note this. Jamie, you are the first male to ever be interviewed on the SheelaNaGig podcast.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. There's a first time for everything,
Yes.
and bring it.
Yay.
Because it's very funny because we focus on women, but we have a little joke, and we always call it we always talk about our support bros. I'm gonna say Jamie's a little more than a support bro, but we are delighted to have you and as our first male guest.
I am honored.
Well, we are too. We are too. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. And of course, welcome back to Amie. We'll tell you a little bit about Amie as well.
Amie Farrell had the pleasure of interviewing with us last fall when she was directing.
Wait, she didn't have the pleasure. We had the pleasure.
She leave that one in.
Yeah, I think you need to leave that one in. That was great.
We did have a bloopers for this episode.
Okay, we had the pleasure of interviewing Amie Farrell last fall when she was directing her farcical and charming endeavor, Ms. Holmes and Miss Watson, Apartment 2B, which also played at the International City Theater in Long Beach. Might I say, Amie, it's so good to see you again.
It is a pleasure. It is my pleasure to see you ladies again. I was very excited when I got the email about this. I was like, oh my God, I want to hang out with them again.
We felt the same way. Very mutual.
Well, going on about you, Amie, in The Revolutionists, you play French playwright and political activist Olympe de Gouges. She most recently appeared in ICT's Bright Ideas and Don't Dress for Dinner. Amie's career has spanned across the country. She's appeared in the Oscar-nominated film Mank with David Fincher, as well as in Clint Eastwood's American Sniper.
Wow.
Television roles include those in This Is Us, Grey's Anatomy, Criminal Minds, iCarly, and Raven's Home. And in other theater roles, some of her favorites include Cinderella Into the Woods, Suzanne in Picasso, and Tom Agile. I came from Brooklyn, as well as Olivia in Twelfth Night. As well as Olivia in Twelfth Night. Lastly, Amie, not so lastly, Amie and her husband and fellow actor Leonard Roberts co-founded Variant Artists, a production company that's committed to centralizing voices that expand the storytelling experience. Again, welcome, Amie.
Welcome.
Welcome, both of you.
Yes,
Thank
we're
you.
super excited to have you guys, and we're gonna dive in here. I'm very excited. So, who wants to go first?
Just tell us about the play or top of mind, whatever is top of mind for you.
Well, Amie, should I take it?
Sure. Go for it.
Basically, this is four women coming together. Three of them are historical figures who have never met in real life, but this play puts them in the same room with another character, a fourth character, Marianne Angel, who is sort of a conglomeration of several historical people. So it is not a real character. And they discuss art and politics and surviving the French Revolution and what the voice of the woman and keeping their rights and trying to keep their heads during all of
Literally, and
Right.
physically.
And tell us again, Jamie, who those women are. We have Marie Antoinette.
It's Marie Antoinette. It is Marianne Angel. It is Charlotte Corday, and it is Olympe de Gouges.
love
right?
Gagoosh.
Which is who Amie is playing.
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. Awesome. And let's see here. So I read that Lauren Gunderson had mentioned that the play explores why we need to make art during times of crisis. So I just wanted to ask you, Jamie, how does that theme resonate with your vision for the show?
Well, let's talk about everything that's going on in our world today, right? So,
Yes. Shall we?
yeah, so it is extremely relevant because look what's happening to CBS. Look what's happening to journalists who are being called names because our administration doesn't like what they say or how they say it. And it is really important for us to tell our stories and tell the truth and be heard. And I think our tendency is to just go along with the power players. And then we just have more fear. There's more fear. People don't want to speak out. And so like last night at the Tony Awards, did you watch the Tony Awards?
Didn't.
Oh,
No, but I did read the follow-up.
Yes.
it wasn't extremely political, but we still have to tell our stories.
Yes, absolutely.
And that is the way that we fight back. I don't intentionally ever get into a project and think, oh, I can be political. I don't. I just want to be a storyteller. But this play definitely lets me be able to express that.
Yes.
And I love what this play says. I really am a big fan of Lauren Gunderson, the writer. And Amie, do you think that Lauren wrote this play and sees herself as Olympe de Gouges? Do you think?
No. No, I think because I read a couple of her I've read some of her plays. I think well, yes and no, I should say. I think she sees herself as all the women. So I guess yes, in a way, she's Olympe de Gouges, but I think she sees herself as all the women put together, like, because they are all the different facets, as we are no monolith, right, of womanhood. And there definitely is, Jamie, yes, some of it, of course, cannot be, because the character is a play. So Olympe de Gouges was a playwright and activist during the French Revolution. Yes. And so, yes, of course, there are crossovers. But I really feel like she's in all of them. But then that's just the thing I feel about playwrights. Often when I look at plays, people will be like, oh, that's got to be the playwright, or oh, that's got to be the writer, and film and TV too. And I'm like, actually, I think they're usually all of them, so.
And that's definitely how we've directed this as well. They are voices in her head as well.
Right.
Yeah, it gets a little like meta theater in that way, which is really beautiful artistically. What Lauren does with it, I think, is really beautiful. Yeah. And
That's
she's so
amazing.
funny. You guys, she is freaking hysterical in her writing. And it's not like a ba-dum-bum kind of like comedy. It's like that kind where you almost like giggle a little bit, but you need to keep up with her. So you don't want to laugh, like you want to like follow it, but you're smiling while you're following it. I feel like when I'm watching, when I was on last night, we did a run, our big dress run with the tech and everything. And a couple points, I was so like fascinated listening to the other ladies on stage. I was like, oh wait, I'm in this play. Cause it was just, it's so fun to try and to follow it. And it's almost musical, her writing. It's pretty.
I love that. And I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm very excited to see that. And I think it's really interesting too. Here we are looking at the Reign of Terror, and we're balancing this really heavy historical tragedy, but with this sharp comedic wit. Right? That fascinates me because I haven't seen the play yet, but my brain immediately was like, how are they going to do that?
I think it's done. I think it's amazing. I think it's really, I think storytelling, it's back to sort of what Jamie was saying. I think plays and storytelling and all of art is the whole, reflection of our humanity, all of that. But when as it changes and as it reflects the world we live in, I think right now, comedy is such a great way in to open up discussions and thoughts because we're so polarized in our country, in our world right now. So a way in to unite us before we can then actually think through is to get us all to laugh together, right? In that same space. And we all laugh together and we're enjoying ourselves. And then we go, oh, holy moly. That's a big thing they just said. How do I feel about that? Because I'm able to hear it as an audience, right? So I think it's a beautiful way into storytelling is the comedy. As well as, you know this from your guys, what your guys' podcast is about. That's what women do. We freaking laugh and we kick back and we have a glass of wine and we figure this shit out. Oh, sorry. We figure this stuff out, right?
We never swear on the podcast, Amie. I think we forgot to tell you that ahead of time.
Yeah, you guys seem so pure and innocent. Very pure and innocent, the two of you.
Especially me.
But it is. That's how women work, right? Like we get together and we have a good laugh and we figure this stuff out. And so I think it's the perfect way to tell that story and to uplift what is the female view? How do women work, walk, enjoy their walking through this world without standing on a soapbox and saying women are this by simply being that through the storytelling.
Comedy and satire, I think, are the most powerful weapons that we have to fight against fascism and oppression and all of that. It's just so much easier, and she does a brilliant job of going in and out of the comedy, which is also laced with contemporary, language. It's very contemporary.
Yeah.
It takes you by surprise and it puts you at ease. And it also is a nice big surprise when it's also emotional. So she's between the two really beautifully.
Wow. I love that. I'm very excited to
Can't wait
be
to
a part of that. I'm thinking about, again, I get off the subject sometime, but I'm a musician and I don't know if you know Grant Lee Phillips from Grant Lee Buffalo, but he used to do the show at Largo. This is back like a long time ago, but I was always amazed because he was hilarious. You'd be like crying, laughing. And then very, very quickly but seamlessly he would go into like the most heavy song, the most you'd be tears, and it was just like it was the most beautiful play emotions. And so when you're talking about that, I'm automatically just going back to those days of Grant Lee Phillips. Like I can't wait to see this in a play because I've experienced this in music, but I'm very excited to see it. I just had to mention that because shout out to Grant Lee Phillips. But getting back to Olympe de Gouges, historically, obviously she was dismissed throughout her life. They, of course, called her hysterical, unnatural, and aggressive, right, bring it. And, but of course, we can kind of safely say that she was seen through this male lens. And sadly, those criticisms, though, is what was used to justify her execution. Ultimately, I hope I'm not giving anything away here, but in this play, I understand that she is portrayed as this really vibrant, relatable, modern woman. Amie, how did you balance the modern dialogue with your characters? This strict historical context that had to be difficult, I would think.
It's so funny. I think back again to, we are just tooting Lauren's horn here, but it's just the writing. Whenever I get into often I love as an actor to get into all the research and the backstory and all that fun stuff, especially if I'm playing someone who actually existed or events that actually occurred. But then at the end of the day, when I step into rehearsal and into the play, I am telling that story that's on the page. So I honor that, right? So the way that Lauren writes her, that is her, and the words they lead me, and the story leads me. And she was, Olympe de Gouges was a for her time, she was a modern woman. She was married off very young, and then her husband died in a flood. She writes, quote, "Thank goodness," or something like that. So she was married off to like an older man and all of that. And then he died, and she up and moved herself to Paris. She renamed herself, and she started a career. She never got married again, which for that time period is amazing. She raised her son by herself and had this career as a playwright, and she was in all the intellectual salons and all of this stuff. And so she was a modern woman in that time.
Yes,
like that was unheard of. That was not the way. So even whether you're looking at the 1700s or you're 2026, like that, she was modern. She was breaking the rules, and she went in front of the National Assembly with this Declaration of Women's Rights that inspired the modern movements of creating laws and bills and things for women's rights throughout in the Americas and in Europe and all of that. She had this Declaration of Women's Rights that she really did right. And so she really, I mean, whether you're back in the 1700s or now, like she was a modern woman. So that's how I approach her. She was breaking the rules and following her heart. And it was really hard. So I think that part of that, and women get this so much even now, hundreds and hundreds of years later, when a woman is standing up and being strong and needing, and a woman has to still fight to be heard, then of course she's going to be called by men of privilege aggressive or bawdy or too harsh or all those things, because you have to be heard in that forum. You have to be able to have a loud, full voice. So,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And unfortunately, in Olympe de Gouges' day, like she got executed for that.
Kind of lost her head.
Yes. Kinda. Yeah. And so, just talking about like, how does the production try to like give her, her proper due as that political heavyweight rather than just like a historical footnote, because a lot of people still don't know who she is, right? But this is an opportunity for people to learn about how amazing she was and what she did. So what, how can you speak to that?
Well, I think it is. I mean, she does the play does touch on the things, some of the like her writing the Declaration of Women's Rights and going to the National Assembly. So that happens during the play. And she's trying to write this particular play right now. And so there is, and with the other women that come to her salon, there is then discussion of how to create this play together. So through all of that story, we get to hear some of the actual facts about her life. But also my take on her is that, that artist who, when artists are in any artistic form, we're sort of in that creative place where we're bubbling and fighting and annoying and frustrating and excited. And like you go through sort of the whole gamut when you're creating, right? Sure. So we get to see that side of her that's very passionate and goes to all these different sort of places of humanity and does it with these other women, which is really cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Which, yeah.
Such an interesting mix.
Yeah, for sure. And I know we have Jamie back. Jamie cut out for a moment. That's what happens sometimes with these, modern technology, right? But we're, I had kind of a big question for you, Jamie. I think I'm going to jump back in with that. So historically, Olympe de Gouges was dismissed through the male lens, of course, as we just talked about, hysterical, unnatural, and but in this play, I understand that she, again, we were just talking with Amie, she was a modern woman then, she is a modern woman now, but she is, very relatable. She is very vibrant in this portrayal. And as a male director, how did you two work together to strip away those sexist historical labels and kind of reapproach her as this contemporary historical, this amazing figure that she was?
Well, it didn't take any work at all. I asked if she wanted to be in pants, and that was it. I think Amie and she already proved she knew where she was going to go with it at the auditions. And it was very clear to all of us at the table that Amie was already there. And I think if I could address your question a different way, I was never going to be directing this show. I was supposed to direct Allegra, which is another play, which is a British playwright, the same one who did Over the Rainbow, I believe, that Jinx Monsoon is starring in on the West End. And they are now doing Allegra on the West End. And so they wanted to pull the rights from us, even though we're all the way in Long Beach. So far away from the West End. But, they're spending millions on it. So I thought, okay. And it's a really good play if you ever get a chance to read it. And so a couple of other projects came across my desk from Karen, and I wasn't interested in doing any of them until this came. And I thought, oh, this really should be a woman director, but it is so good. I would love to get my hands on this. So I did say yes. I didn't want to say no to her 3 times in a row. And it's such a terrific play. So I just made it a conversation with the cast that part of my job is to listen and guide and let's make their voices heard. And it was very collaborative from the very, very beginning. And I think everybody has a safe space to work. And the biggest thing, I guess, my biggest takeaway is that girls like farce humor just as much as boys.
Oh my God, it's so true. We have so many fart jokes. It's so silly. We have so much fun. We have so much fun together in rehearsal. It's been just so wonderful.
I love that.
Jamie's been amazingly, she's a great director, period, artistically, but to create this space for us women to tell this story and to honor the female story, he is incredible at doing that and seeing the humanity. So I think it's a really incredible, and everyone else involved in this show is women, from our incredible stage manager, Donna, artistic director, all of our designers are all women, except our sound designer is another man. But so I think that Jamie's done this beautiful job for just creating this space for particularly the 4 of us actresses to feel totally comfortable being that we're telling this female story, and Jamie's not like the man telling us what to do. He's simply supporting this ride we're on with it. And he's done such a beautiful job, because there are a lot of people who could not do that, but Jamie's just incredibly gracious in doing that. And it's been great. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And, as he was saying about you, we certainly know that you do your research. We know that from the last play.
It sounds like the rapport and the collaboration really worked. And of course, male, female is just not this monolithic, universal, black and white persona that each of us carry. But do you think that there was something about, and you mentioned the male humor with farting and all that there was something about your perspective as a man, as somewhere through all of the work that you've done, that uniquely influenced your ability to direct this particular play?
Well, I'm an emotional human being, and this play does tap into some emotion. And I'm a gay man, so I've been surrounded by women allies my whole life. And I don't know, does that help? I guess it does. I think it helps. Amie's also a dear friend, so that makes that super easy and quick. Mm-hmm. And we trust each other. And it's what's wonderful is watching 4 women that all have very, very different processes. They all have a different process of how to get there. And part of my job as a director is to listen and learn what their process is, because everyone is different. They're not going to be there at the same pace, and they're going to come at it at different directions. And I think psychologically, I love that about this art form, because we're all going to get there together, just in different ways. And it's beautiful to watch these women click right away. Part of that is the casting. We had great casting directors, but I got all my first choices, which is lovely. That doesn't always happen, but these women clicked right away. So I didn't have much to do when it came to chemistry. they were already there. They are so tight and so good, and they're all friends, and they all take care of each other, and that's really lovely to see.
Beautiful.
That's great.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's so important too for us to remember now as we continue, as we start to move, hopefully, continue to move forward as humans, that, you know, we do need to create space for any group of people that has been not given space historically, whether
Correct.
it's women, whether it's LGBTQ plus, whether we're talking about race, any of these things, we need to absolutely make sure we are giving space that has not been there before to tell the stories. And then also, though, we don't want to always put the burden on the group that has been marginalized to tell the story. It is all of us, right? So that whole, Jamie said the word before, allyship. And I know we throw that around a lot in our culture today, but it is vital. It is women's rights so that ultimately we all are together, right? It is any fight for, you know, we shouldn't be putting any fight for the Black American on the shoulders of solely the Black American, right? We shouldn't be doing any of, it should be all of us, particularly the people who aren't in that group, we need to bring it all together. So I think there is something beautiful about what we all have created in this particular space for this particular play with Jamie. I can't imagine not having Jamie there, to be honest. Yeah.
There was when I went to the Women's March, was it Burbank? Which one? I've been to so many, but half of the people that were marching were men, more than half. It was wonderful.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
That is wonderful. Yeah. Those are our kind of men, right?
Yeah,
And as we love to say, support bros.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
it's what it takes.
No, it's great. It's great for sure.
You know, I've been a white man my whole life, so
Yeah.
I get it. I get that when I was 20, I had opportunities that I realized not a lot of people did.
Uh-huh.
I think the only time that I was not given an opportunity was because of my height.
Shorty poo poo, I love you.
I'm not kidding. You know, if I started as a dancer, and that was a big thing, and so I thought you're either in or you're not. So that's the only time I took a hit was because of my height.
Amie, did you just say shorty poo poo? I love you.
I did say shorty poo poo and I love you. That's what I said to Jamie. Oh my goodness. He's so much fun. Well, and that's the thing. We have so much fun together. I mean, this play is, like we said, it definitely gets to a place because of what historically happened to all these women, of them being brutalized at the end. But it's so much joy and sisterhood that's celebrated in this play that's so amazing. And it's for women who are very different women in the French culture, even if we're looking at there are different statuses, and you know, the French Revolution so much was about that royalty and bourgeoisie, sort of middle class, right? And so the women represented are all different. You've got Marie Antoinette, who's this royal entitled figure, right? And then we've got Charlotte Corday, who's a more middle-class young woman. So we've got Marianne, who's a Black woman fighting for freedom from slavery in the Caribbean because the French were, colonizing at that time. And then Olympe, who's somewhere in the middle. So you've got there's even that struggle within that, right? Of where we fit, and women are all different. But at the same time, I think I have a line, but we're all just still real people, you know? So finding that, right, through our, and I think that applies to the whole of humanity, not just women, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm going to ask you both this question. So this is for our podcast listeners. I would like you to both come up with 3 words to describe this play that they've perhaps never seen or heard of.
Strength, power, sisterhood.
Love it.
Nice.
And that is right up our alley. Amie?
Yeah. Hope. I'm going to do for badass. And girl. We say it throughout the whole girl.
Girl. Oh, I love with the accent. That's so good.
Yeah.
That's how our Marie, she's so wonderful. Lindsay LaRose, did I say it right?
Lindsay LaRose, yes.
Yeah, she plays our Marie Antoinette, and she is so fun. It's a girl. She is.
Oh my God. I am thrilled. I am thrilled to go see it, as I think all of our listeners will be as well. And just to review, it's running June 10th through June 28th. And here's the deal, if I got this correct. There are 2 previews, Wednesday, June 10th, Thursday, June 11th. They're both at 7:30. And these performances, if I am not mistaken, are only $44 each, which is an amazing deal for live theater. Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And may we say that the theater is a lovely venue, and it's a wonderful night out, great or afternoon out, great restaurants, great walking, and a wonderful theater, quality theater.
It is.
Performances.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a beautiful space. I know. I tell people too. There's this idea of you said where you live. People don't know. It's like sometimes people get this idea like, oh, Long Beach, so far. But I'm like, it's not that far. When I go out to Pasadena Playhouse, it's just as much. Just make a little night of it. Come a little early, have a little drinky poo or some snacks, and then see a play. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Agreed. It's not that far, and it's so worth it. I got a little bit best kept secret for people in LA, and they need to venture out a little bit. But you can also check out opening night, which seems pretty cool. Because for $59, this includes a post-show reception with the actors.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can hang out with Amie and friends. It's going to be awesome, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
That's
there's food and an open bar and all that kind of, or not an open bar. I think it's just a bar, but there's food and a bar.
I changed our reservation.
Not an open bar, a bar.
Yeah. Easy, Amie, easy.
Wishful thinking. Wishful thinking is what's happening.
Just bring a flask, whatever night you go, just bring a flask. I'm just kidding. If you're like me. No. So wait, on a little side note, just because I always have to add little side notes, I've been performing on the Queen Mary. One of my bands is a jazz band, and we've been performing like residency on the Queen Mary. And like, you're like a Disney performer when you perform on the Queen Mary. I hope they're not listening right now, but we're not allowed to drink, right? And you're not allowed to have like a glass of wine, like you're a Disney performer. No. And
Really?
so there's a lot of rules. There's rules. So I bring a flask of white wine. I'm not even freaking kidding. I don't know what it is, because like a flask is equivalent to like a glass of wine. It's like one glass of wine. But I've become very strategic. Like between my first and second, I have a shot of whiskey before I leave the house. Then I get there, I do my first set, I drink half the flask, half my glass of white wine. Then I do my second set, and I go into the bathroom, I sit on the toilet, and I drink my second half of the white wine. So that's what I'm talking about.
Oh my God.
They are not holding you back.
I'm a little TMI here, but so I'm just suggesting, you can always bring your own flask of white wine or whiskey, whatever you like. Okay, I'm a really bad
It's a bad influence.
I know.
But she does struggle with a little bit of stage fright.
I do.
So
I do.
Kind of loosens the wheels.
I definitely do. Amie, do you have stage fright?
Not
No,
enough to
I get really excited though. So I do have to my nervousness shows up as excitement. So I do have to take a breath. Like I have to breathe because I get super excited.
Yes.
So that's how my nerves show up. So like JV said, everybody's a little different in how I think nerves show up. And so I just get so excited. I have to I really have to have a few moments before I go on stage and really breathe deeply so I can ground all that stuff. But I always post show martini is my jam. So I
love that you're saying that.
Yeah. I have to.
That.
Oh my God. I love it. Yes. No.
Yes.
There's something about performing.
Gin or vodka.
Vodka.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. My husband's always like, you need to do the traditional gin. I'm like, but I like my vodka.
I normally vodka, but just recently I've been going into a friend of ours taught us about a bruised martini, a bruised gin martini. And we both were like, wow, this is delicious. Janie, what
drink do I like?
Yeah. What is her poison, first of all?
Espresso martini. I just started making them.
You make your own?
Yeah, well, we have an espresso machine, and I make my coffee every morning. And well, it's a double espresso with a little half and half and some raw sugar. But
Yes.
if you can make your own espresso, you can make an espresso martini really quickly. You just have to learn how to make some simple sugar. Is that what it's called?
Simple syrup.
Simple syrup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. Now, do you have stage fright, Jamie?
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it depends. I get a little butterflies, and I guess the older I get, the more butterflies are flying around.
Is it more nerve-wracking for you to perform or to direct and watch and it's out of your control?
That's a good question. Yeah.
I think no, it's definitely performing.
Performing.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it is. It never used to be. I used to be more excitable when I was directing, that I'd have to pace in the back. But I don't have to do that anymore. But I'm going to do Hairspray next, and I'm playing Edna Turnblatt's husband. So
Oh, how fun. How fun.
Is
And-
that an ICT?
no, that's in Sacramento Music Circus. So it's up in Sacramento.
Okay. Well,
I think it's not. I don't think it's
Yeah.
called that anymore. I think it's called Broadway Sacramento or something. And that is the month of August. And I'm a little nervous. It's been a year. It's been a year and a half since I did Drag the musical, and I was nervous in that.
Wow. Well, you'll have to have a couple espresso martinis ahead of time,
There we
right?
go.
Atta girl, you are a bad influence.
And I love it. I love it.
Amy,
I am a bad influence.
Amy, do not get any ideas.
Well, you never know what my secrets are. I don't know.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, I had so I studied acting when I was younger. I've done some acting, but at some point I kind of had to choose: do I want to do acting? Do I want to do music? And I chose music ultimately. Do a few things here and there, but I remember I had this acting teacher. I went to Wayne State in Detroit, and he's Tony Schmidt. He was amazing, and he used to say, like, you're nervous. You're like a baseball player. You're at, your hands are sweating. You're getting ready to swing that bat, whatever. But once you hit that bat, you're in the game and you just run. And
Right.
I think of that every time I perform now. I'm just like, I just got to hit that first note and I'm in the game. I
Right.
might not even remember because you get you go into the zone, right? You find the zone, and then it's like you don't even you're there, So I always think that's a really interesting analogy, at least for me. Like that, for something about that feels really good. All I got to do is hit the ball. I can do it. I'm in. Okay,
It would be really nice if people could come out and get some butts in the seats for this one, because I do think this is very special.
asses and
Sounds
seats, everybody.
amazing.
Asses and seats. Come on, come on.
Revolutionists, June 10th to June 28th, with the special discounted performances on June 10th.
10th and 11th. Yes. And okay, so we talked, I want to, there's also performances Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays at 7:30 for a mere $56. I'm talking about live theater.
Do yourselves a favor.
Live theater for $56. Are you kidding me? Like, come on, let's show up. Let's show up.
And
It's
see some
important.
badass women stories retold.
It's so
reimagined.
It's so important to support this kind of theater, especially
Absolutely.
right now with everything that's happening. Let's be present. Let's be supportive. Let's show up.
And maybe our motto needs to be BYOF. Bring your own flask.
There you go.
Yeah. I love that. I love
Oh my
that.
God.
Yeah,
I would love it. And then at the end, everyone in the audience can raise their flasks, and I'll come
Yeah.
on.
Cheers.
April, we're going to raise our flasks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for you. I'm gonna look for you.
The theater.
Raise our flasks. We do it. You're going to look, and we're going to be like, we're going to have our flasks. We're going to do it.
You know what? For
Yeah.
you, I'm going to bring mine too. I do have
All
two.
right.
Me too. I know. We got to put one somewhere. I'm gonna put a flask on the set somewhere.
Does everybody have a flask? I have several. I can, if you want, I can loan you one if you need it. Whatever.
To get yourself in trouble. Amie, Jamie, thank you so much for joining us today, and we wish you breaking both legs and 8 arms on this play. It sounds amazing, and we can't wait to be there.
We can't, but I just want to reiterate again, it's at the International City Theater at the Long Beach Convention Center. 330 East Seaside Way. And to purchase tickets, I'm going to give you that information right now because that's very important. You're going to want to do this right now. You can call, you can just call. Isn't that nice? 562-436-4610, or you can go to internationalcitytheater.org. Internationalcitytheater.org to get your tickets. And I think I forgot to say too, on Sunday, there's a matinee performance, and that is just $59 well spent. So you have a lot of opportunities here to see the play. So don't miss it.
Don't miss it.
Go just the nice beer stuff.
Be there and
Yeah.
bring a flask.
Bring a flask.
Raise your flasks in solidarity. We're going to do that. And you know what? If you go and you bring a flask and you take a picture of yourself with that flask at the theater, April and I are going to give you a special prize.
That's right.
Yes.
Like maybe some kick-ass SheelaNaGig t-shirt sort of thing.
Or crotchless underwear.
Oh, yeah, we love crotchless.
That
We
is
do.
perfect.
We gave them away. Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. When we had our launch for the podcast, we gave away crotchless underpants because,
SheelaNaGig is hanging it all out.
yeah. Well, the lyric is, what once was hidden now set free, unabashed in her glory, SheelaNaGig. So of course we had to give out crotchless underpants and vagina cookies. Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, maybe we'll send you crotchless underpants and maybe we'll make some extra vagina cookies. Remember how much fun that was? Making vagina cookies. Let's do it.
I love it so much. Yay.
We love you guys. This was so much fun. The Revolutionists, don't miss it. June 10th through June 28th. Thank you to Amie and Jamie. We love you guys. Again, we cannot wait to see the show. We'll be there with our flasks. And until next time, everybody, thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sheela,